first of all, I mean, DEI stands for diversity, equity, inclusion, right? So to me, we start by thinking, okay, what's the opposite of those things? The opposite of diversity is uniformity, right? The opposite of equity is inequity. And the opposite of inclusion is exclusion. And I don't know a lot of people who think we'd be better off if our lives had more uniformity, inequity, and exclusion, right? But I think that the part of why people have questions about it that I respect is they're not sure if they're worried about fairness, right? So to me, when you talk about some of these policies, the idea is to make sure everybody gets a seat at the table. Especially if you know there have been systematic ways of keeping people from getting a seat at the table over the years, sometimes based on their race, on their religion, on their income, on their background, any number of reasons, sexuality, right? Like a lot of different reasons. And it's about making sure that what we do going forward is fair. And this can be an economic issue too. You look at something like redlining. A lot of homeowners, families, would-be homeowners, especially black families, couldn't get homes in certain neighborhoods where the property value started to go up. So even if that happened to a family, 50 years ago, their kids are living with the consequences of that now because their family has less wealth because they were kept out of a neighborhood where property values were growing, right? And so part of it's the idea that some of these things may have started a long time ago. Maybe nobody alive today is responsible for some of the injustice that has shaped what it's like to live in this country right now. But all of us now are responsible for doing something about it. It's not about tearing anybody down. It's not about preventing anybody from thriving. But I think it gets twisted to make it look like that
Does some of the pushback come from people seeing, let's see, say one marginalized community sees one group getting a lot of emphasis and they kind of feel they're not getting enough?
Maybe, yeah.
As far as
I mean, if it gets distorted, if somebody describes it in a way that makes it seem like somebody's getting an unfair advantage and you're not, you're gonna be pissed off about that, right?
Somebody is.
And I think, by the way, I think that's part of the story he's trying to tell. He's trying to say you're better off because somebody else, or you're worse off because somebody else is better off.
Right.
To me, the whole point of government is to find ways to make more people better off without making people worse off.
Right.
I think good policy does that.
Right.
But he wants it zero sum.